Okay, hello everybody. We are officially live. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to be here with you for the Energy Healing, Metaphysics, and Spirituality Conference. And we're in for an amazing journey today. Joan and I are just kind of tuning in with everybody in the Zoom room here. And everybody's sharing where they're from. So now we're live, Joan. We're live on your YouTube. We're live on Portal to Ascension, New Realities, 3 different Facebook groups, and we also have a bunch of people in the Zoom room here. But we're really excited for today. Today is truly a gift to the community, and it's going to be back-to-back energetic transmissions. A lot of beautiful energy is going to be cultivated here, and I'm just really happy to be here with you, John.
God, it's not like we don't see each other all the time, but every time I see
this
you,
one,
I get so excited. Yeah. No, I get very excited because healing, you could call me Dr. Joan today because healing has been my life for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important that we align body, mind, and spirit for wellness and understand that health comes from within. It truly is an inside job. We are what we eat, we are what we think, we are what we put out in the universe.
Right. Before we, everybody right now is not only saying where they're from, but for everybody tuning in on the YouTubes and on other social media platforms right now, what we're doing is what we just decided about 5 minutes ago was how great it would be if we all just added what we are looking to work on, heal, bring into alignment for ourselves, for our loved ones. It could be something from the microcosm into your day-to-day lives. It could be the macrocosm, because truly the inner work and the healing work we do for ourselves reflects into the whole planet. And that's why it's so important for us to do the inner work, because without us really coming to that place of alignment and centeredness, the external reality, which is a reflection of our inner world, won't be able to cultivate that stillness as well. So that's why so many of the events that we do at Portal to Ascension really focus on that inner work, even when we talk about extraterrestrials, right? So if you're on any of those other platforms, and if you're just joining us in Zoom right now, go ahead and type in the chat. Let us know where you're from so we can really create this global energy here, but also type in whatever you want to work on and heal.
I'm going to do that too, by the way.
And Joan, I thought it would be a good way, because I feel like you and I have different perspectives, not differences, but different perspectives on what healing is. So I thought it'd be great if you started with what it is to you, and I'll say what it is to me.
Oh, that is such a great question. So healing, my years as a chiropractor, we learned that the power that made the body can heal the body. Mm-hmm. And if you could, and that comes through innate intelligence in your body. So if you could access that innate wisdom, that power that made the body can actually turn on all the circuits in your body to work in alignment and harmony. Mm-hmm. And healing, it's not the symptoms. Symptoms are just a warning sign that we have problems in our body that need to be taken care of, but we don't divide our body into stomach, liver, gallbladder. When the body's out of alignment, it's the entire body. So to me, healing is looking at your entire body and shifting it energetically, aligning your body, your mind, and your spirit for wellness, and for your purpose. And so it's a matter of turning on your body's own healing powers. Mm-hmm. That was short and sweet.
Yeah, beautiful. So for me, I definitely agree with all that. And so I'll tell you my journey with the word healing and why for like 7 years of Portal to Ascension events, I never even used the word healing because of my judgments. Doing an event with the word healing in it is me really transcending a lot of my own stuff, because I always felt, Joan, that healing represented the word lack, that we're all, and if we looked at healing as something that we don't have, then how are we going to ever embody something if the universe only reflects what we put out there? And if we always feel that we don't have something, how are we going to really encourage that level of alignment? So for a long time, I never used the word healing because I just thought it was lack. I even did sound healings, right? Sound healings, I never called sound healings for ages. I only call them sound activations. And when I transcended my polarity with the term healing, and I realized that we can give it our own meaning on definition, it doesn't have to symbolize lack. So what it really means to me is coming into alignment. And I shifted from, because so many people are healers, right? And so I really didn't resonate with the fact that someone is healing you. But now I kind of look at it as that individual is using a modality to remind your own inner world of how to heal itself. Kind of like what you were saying.
You have made a great transformation because, health, wealth, and happiness are the keys to life and a happy life, health, wealth, and happiness. And health is when all systems in your body are working together to give you the power to energize your mission, passion, and purpose. And so, and healers have a unique ability to activate that within you. It's not like they do anything to you. They bring energy through to allow your body to open up to being healthy, wealthy, and happy. I want the complete package.
So should we read some of what everybody's putting into the field here, Joan?
Yes. Oh my God, there's someone here from Portugal. Well, Anna, I am in Lagos, Portugal. So hello to you. And yes, a lot of Americans are moving here. I'm thinking of not even leaving. I haven't even told Neil that yet. We
Today,
have
I was thinking how much I can't wait for you to be here, Joan.
God, I think I should get you here. If you were here, you'd be going surfing. Right? All right. So we have Michael from the UK. My alignment with source, world peace, and harmony, healing, my prosperity for the good of all souls involved. I'll read a couple and you can read a couple.
Yeah.
Dawn, I'd love to have negativity in me that just seems to come from the ways I learned from others. Yes, patterns, or how to survive from circumstances. But my true self just gets bombarded with them. I feel different than these generated negatives, but they still appear in my field like patterns, and they get stuck in your auric field. So Dawn, that's really, really helpful. And Joanne is working on a pancreas issue and would have diabetes if I was not on a low carb eating plan. And, diet is one of the keys to helping with prevent diabetes. So good for you. I think you're going to get a lot of other, today is also a lot of energy healing.
Yeah.
And different modalities. So here we have Seattle in the house with Janet Gold to heal and align my whole self. We need a complete tune-up for KY. And Brandon has pictures and videos of crafts from the last few weeks, about 10 to 12 lights in a line formation. Oh, moved from Palm Springs to Desert Hot Springs just when I moved. You're seeing all the ships, guys. Just a few nights ago, then quickly dispersed. Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys are letting me know that you're from DHS and Palm Springs. And I understand there's a fire in Moronga, up in Moronga also. All right.
There's a couple more here. So we only have a couple minutes till we got to officially start. So I'm going to read a couple more, tell you guys about why we're doing this event, and then we're going to talk about the flow for today. So Sue is saying here that she would love healing for increased vital energy for self and all beings. Janet is saying she's in Michigan and like to request healing for her body and brain as she continues to adjust the practice to the practice of intermittent fasting. Also requests to strengthen her connection with spirit. So let's do this for right now. Everybody is adding things to the field. We have it on social medias on the other platform as well. Let's just imagine we're creating this epic bubble where we can all have this safe experience to put whatever we want into this field. And everything that we're creating today just contributes to that bubble, that frequency of healing, alignment, strength, connection. Okay. So let's just take 30 seconds, just complete silence, and just envision that as everybody's putting it out here. We have 600 people registered for this event, plus the online platform. So we had a lot of good turnout for this event. So for everybody there connecting in, let's just take 30 seconds right now and just imagine that. Imagine a huge bubble like a dome around the universe. And that dome is this energetic bubble of healing, alignment, harmonic frequencies. And it is a safe place for all of us to contribute, to put in whatever we feel called to. With the awareness that as we put it out there, with trust, that the frequencies that we cultivate today will work towards whatever you're putting out into the universe. All right, so we're gonna get started in a couple of minutes here, guys. So I want to let you first know why we're doing this event like this, right? I've shared it with the speakers. I don't think I've shared it with everybody here, but many of you may have actually been a part of this survey I did a year and a half ago, where I asked the community, Portal to Ascension community, what are the topics that you're really into? We had extraterrestrials and UFOs, we had ancient history, we had energy healing and metaphysics. And this one had like 70% of everybody basically selected this exact title, energy healing, spirituality, and metaphysics. So I wanted to, and I put it in the pipeline to put an event to create this conference eventually, because obviously the community really was calling it forward and wanted to actually tap into this. So at first it was one of our regular events. And then about 2 weeks ago, we decided to shift it from a regular event to just open it up to the world and the community, because not only is this a celebration, not only is this a celebration for the next evolution, the milestone of Portal to Ascension, right? Not only is this healing that we're receiving, Joan and myself, not only is this healing for Portal to Ascension and the journey that it's been on, right, which has been a rough ride for itself as well, but this is for everybody in this community to have an up leveling. So it's a gift of frequencies, and also a party and a celebration to not only symbolize the evolution of what we're creating together, Joan and myself, but for all of you, because right now some things are really happening, some really huge things are happening on the planet. Paradigm shifting awareness is coming out like never before. You know, you got to check out other events to know what that's all about. And so much so that the only way we can be the caretakers of this planet, the only way that we can move forward into this new reality is if we do the inner work so that it can reflect externally, like I just shared a little while ago. So this event, you know, that's the aura of what we're creating here today. And now how it's going to flow. We have, how many speakers do we have, Joan? Do you remember?
I just went through the whole list a little while ago, didn't count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.1.
9.1. No, you're full person, Joan. That's too funny. So we're going to have 9 presenters, and then Joan is going to close us out with her transmission as well. And it's going to be 35 minutes each. Around 2 of them are going to have PowerPoint presentations where it's going to be more informational, and the rest of them pretty much like transmission, downloads, awareness, frequencies. So it's going to be, it's going to not too fast paced, but we're going to be going from person to person every 35 minutes, really just like with these frequencies up until the end of the event. So strap on your seatbelts. We're about to go for an epic ride, and let's do it. Let's bring on our first guest, shall we?
Amazing. That drum was so beautiful, Neil. So we're calling in Leslie.
There we go. You want to go ahead and introduce Leslie?
I will. Let me see. Let me look at him for a second and say hi. Hello, Leslie. We are happy to see you today. Turn on your camera. There you are. All right. How wonderful to see you.
Thank you. It's wonderful. I'm on the other side of the house, so I heard the drum. And I was like, maybe I should open the door so that it can come through my speaker, my microphone. It is it's a sound that I'm very familiar with here at our home. So it's very lovely.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, let me introduce you. So guys, Leslie Allyn Finkel is on a mission to free people from their trauma, pain, and everyday stresses so they can thrive and enjoy life to its fullest. He is the founder of Unstoppable Healing, man. I love that, Unstoppable Healing, where he leads clients to profound life and health changes using an ancient Taoist healing science called I'm going to ruin that. Chine sang.
Thanks.
Leslie's passionate about helping people heal holistically from the inside out, which is what we were talking about. His clients report astounding results, including relieving chronic pain from accidents and physical injuries, releasing emotional trauma, anxiety, or eliminating digestive and hormonal issues. He, by the way, had a 31-year career in information technology and 26 years with the City of Phoenix Police, where he administered some of their systems. So we're very proud of him for all of that, plus 25 combined years studying these systems, Tai Chi and martial arts. He is the co-author of the Amazon bestseller book, Energy, Healing, and Soul Medicine, Stories of Healing and Miracles, and has been a featured author in the Awakening Starseed, Volume 3 of Radha's book, Dreaming into the Future. So very interesting, directing our story and dreaming into the future with Leslie Allyn. So we're happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Let's see.
You should be able to, I'm sure Neil set you up to share the screen.
Share and then share. Here we go. All right. Everyone's seeing. Let's put the toolbar down a little bit. Here we go. Play. Boom. Here we go. So, we're going a little, we're going to go back to the top. Excuse me. Here we go. Play. Okay. Is everyone seeing this?
We see it.
Awesomeness. Okay. So first off, thank you so much for creating this event. It is, as so many people in the audience have said, it's very much needed, and everybody is part of this ascension that we as humans and the planet is going through, and we all need a little help with to each other. And I wanted to say that this is it's just lovely. I'm still getting it in my mind that I'm here doing this. I have so much to share. So today I bring in divine masculine, the healing part. That's one of the things that I love. I have a very strong feminine, very strong masculine, and so my presence has always been super helpful. But for today's talk, I want to talk to people about fascia. This is such important subject topic. It's a part of our body that we don't know. Most people don't know about, don't think about. So to start, I want everyone to close their eyes, settle into their body, take a deep breath. Listen to your breath and do another. And now I want you to actually go inside your body and visualize everything that's in there. Visualize the bones, your skeleton, visualize them, see them connected together, see them creating your whole body, and then see your organs in your abdomen and see them in there. See your liver is going to be over on your right upper side, and your spleen over on your left side, your bladder, your kidneys. This is something that when I work with people, I have them do because there's something that I call smiling energy. And I want you to think about any place in your body which is not feeling good, has discomfort. And I want you to, as you take a breath, send smiling energy, send a smile, literally smile, and send it through your body to that place. It's very important to actually have a connection to everything in your body, to smile, talk to it, because everything has its own conscious. And then this is going to bring us into the fascia, because fascia is this super highway that's covering and is throughout our body. And I like to say or feel that information and energy is traveling throughout our body, from our organs and our bones, through this fascia. It's kind of, even considered where the soul resides, because it's connecting every cell in our body in a miracle of way. So here, the fascia, can it be the information network highway in our body? And what I have worked with people is that we store energies throughout our body. And the energies, some of them are also negative or harsh from traumas that we have had in our own life, passed to us through our parents, our grandparents, our lineage, or the morphogenetic field, which is a whole energy that everybody is connected to as humans and animals as well, plants, etc. But some of these energies are harsh and stuff, and so we can actually go into our body where they're stored and release them. So when that starts collecting inside of us, and sometimes it starts causing physiological changes in us, through all sorts of different modalities, even in meditations. And I know there will be other people today on our conference that will be sharing about how they do it as well. But the answer is yes, you can change what is inside your body. You can change your DNA, who you are, because in epigenetics, our DNA is created by the energy of our environment. And that includes the energy that is inside of us. So, in case you didn't know, this is what fascia is. Fascia is this amazing material that is in our body, and it surrounds everything in our body. And Western medicine is actually starting to catch up with Eastern medicine, in that there's already 160 or over 160 different fascia types documented in our body. So your bone, your nerves, your muscles, your organs are all encased in this incredible material. It's elastin and collagen, and has even been shown to have its own nerves inside of it so that it's as sensitive as your skin. I mean, that's, and I was thinking about this yesterday. It's like, why do we feel pain inside? It's, where's it coming from? What is telling the nerves to tell our mind that there's pain? And I believe that's information that is being stored and then transmitted through fascia as well into the nerves. And fascia has even been shown to have muscle cells and, as I said, nerves. So fascia, you can imagine, is holding the structure of everything in our body. So you would think that it's strong, it is, but it's not rigid. It's actually flexible and malleable and spongy and slippery too, so that when the blood vessels and the muscles are moving in the body and where the organs are sitting inside our abdominal cavity, they slip and slide next to each other. Could you imagine if everything was rough and hard and everything would be clinking inside and you'd be getting friction and it wouldn't be working very well. So it's an absolutely incredible, fascinating part of what fascia is. Now, on the flip side of that is fascia also is imprintable. So when you have surgery, injuries, if you fell, if you have emotional trauma as well, which leads to inflammation in the organs or in the tissues and the muscles, the swelling or that hitting of the fascia can leave imprints and then adhesions, and some of them will last even a lifetime. They'll start forming even a glue-like adhesion, so where they are moving. And when that happens, then when muscle is moving over other muscles, when blood vessels are in between muscles and tissues and they're getting stuck, it's causing that part of the body to not function as well. And then also when we have these traumas, they get into our body, and we actually store them. And in Taoist philosophy, we store them in our organs and in the fascias. And when they're there, they start leading to creating inflammation. And then with the inflammation, then toxins start building. And then so certain organs may start getting toxin buildup. So you might get things like jaundice or eczema, which are normally like in your joints, in the creases of your elbow or your underarms behind the knees. So as this happens, these messages, which is information, being stored in the fascia and in the organs, need to be processed and released. And that's all that needs to be done. When that's not happening, though, and this is a cyclic cycle here of different energies being stored in different organs and the fascia that is surrounding and encasing all of them. And so there's 5 elements, and many of you've probably heard of the 5 elements. You have fire, earth, metal, wood, and water. And most everything starts with stress. Maybe you're driving on the freeway and you're in a lot of traffic. Maybe you're at work and it's very stressful. Maybe you're a student in school and you're being picked on and bullied, and there's stress that starts happening. So that energy, which is information, gets into us, and then it's being stored in these different organs. And as that gets into them, they start not functioning as well. And it also starts affecting us. And so we start slowing down in how we operate during the day and in our life. And we start feeling sluggish. We start getting pains and aches, because the emotions are also, you got to understand, leading to also physical issues. So they're interconnected. They're not just separate. So when we have emotional issues, and even if we overcome them in our mind, like, you know what, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to come over it, I'm going to, go for a hike, I'll feel better. Well, you are, but some of that information or that trauma energy is still in the organs. And so it takes a little bit more of a direct, specific process to go to them and then process them. But as you can see from this cycle, all the different organs have different energies. So I'll just say we have fear in our lungs, which is a metal organ, which is also the large intestine. And we have anger in our liver and our gallbladder. And we have a lack of support. So if you're feeling like no one's supporting you, your family's not supporting you, your friends aren't supporting you, you feel like you're having to do stuff by yourself, that's a lack of support energy. And that's going into your earth organs, which are your spleen and your pancreas. And then if you have jealousy and other fiery issues, which are going to be the small intestine in your heart, they are going to lead to issues that are also in your heart. And you might be getting, higher blood pressure. You might be getting palpitations. You might be getting angina. So that's the very, very big key to when we're starting to get physical symptoms in our body, is to actually look at the emotional issues that we may have. And having a very strong background in computers, I love this analogy when I look at this picture of, the human fascia and the skin, and you're going to have fascia at the this upper layer, and then in the middle layer, and then in the deeper level. It looks like the same thing as this computer chip here. Multiple layers of fascia with information traveling through, connected to this organ, to that muscle, to that joint. So it only makes total sense to me that we operate as a human computer, not just in our, our mind, our brain, but literally our body without our even knowing it. And that's a beautiful thing, that we don't even have to control it. It just is autonomic. And over here on the right, you can see the abdominal area here where adhesions are starting to form. That's those white lines right there. And with that, there's those, we sometimes feel, when things happen, you might say, oh, I got a pain in my throat, something with your voice, or maybe I have a knot in my stomach, or when you're really nervous, you start feeling maybe even kind of a apple in your throat, or even a knot in your stomach. So butterflies, etc. So these emotions, you can, in your mind, you can actually visualize how they are affecting you, how you feel. Case in hand, this was me a few years ago. And I wanted to show this picture to you because you may have been injured or may have had something happen and you don't realize what it's done inside of you. So in this story, I was driving on a freeway here in Phoenix, minding my own business, going about 25 miles an hour in traffic, cars and traffic all around me. And this Aramark truck came in right behind me and just bam, bashed right into me. And I went like this. I saw it in my mirror for just a second. And the next thing you know, I went like this. And then I wasn't in pain, but it was almost like a shock. So we pulled off the side of the road in a parking area, and I came out and I see this solid steel bumper on the truck. And I look at it and I go, oh my God, what force had to punch solid steel like that? And then I look at the back of my truck and I look at my hitch, I look at my truck, and I don't see a scratch. And I'm like, well, where did all that energy go to? All that energy, and you can imagine this is several tons, this truck, all that energy slamming into me went through the frame of the truck and into my body when I was seatbelted into the seat. Well, it's not just the strap that was going over my shoulder that got the, the impact and the injury. Yes, I had black and blue and my collarbone hurt, but every bone, every nerve, every muscle in my body got that impact as well. And hence, that's why it took over 9 months of physical therapy and chiropractic care and massage therapy to work the fascia, work the organs, work everything into a better place, because that fast action will actually make an impact and change the memory of the structures in our body. And so here I'll take you the connection between fascia and chronic pain, but I want you to think deep inside your body too. Think about if you're on your bike and you fell, and yeah, you cut your elbow up or you bruise your shoulder, but think deeper inside your body where injury has happened, and then where the adhesions start forming, and why you can no longer like move your arm as easily. People can't raise their arm as easily, even though the major muscle and everything is healed. There's still those adhesions, and so that's something that is very, very, very important to think about when you're healing yourself, and it's healing from the inside out, not just from the outside. So this is actually how I healed myself, and everybody does heal yourself. As Joan said earlier, what heals the body is what created the body. And in this scene, you can see, I want to kind of like drive home how the information is traveling through our body. And then by focusing and sending our own thought energy into the body, into those places, you can process that emotion that's in an organ or in the fascia. And that's exactly what I did. I received a healing from a Tibetan Dakini, and she was able to open up this blockage, this energy blockage I had in my back. Now, the rest of my body was all healed, but that ache, and what it was the trauma that was being stored. And then I processed that. I felt this warm molasses just flowing all over my back. And that's when I realized how energy is flowing, and that when it's not flowing, you're not necessarily aware of it. You're only aware of the chronic ache that you're having. So you can permanently release those energies that are being stored in your body so that the fascia comes back to this healthy, moist, slippery, malleable place. You know, and I didn't mention, but when those toxins start building up in your body, in the organs, the fascia starts becoming dry and brittle, so it's not slippery anymore. And that's also leading to other issues in the body. So part of your healing journey is to process those messages when they're in your body. And I'm going to knock on my desk. They're knocking, and they want to be processed. You need to process them. And if you don't process them, because in our daily lives, in our busy lives, we compartmentalize those emotions and those fears and angers, or what do we have? Because we have to take care of the kids, we have to feed the animals, we have to go to work, we have to drive, we have to be focused. And so we stuff them and we don't process them. And then they're there and they're knocking louder. So the key to healing yourself from these traumas and these energies that we're storing is to process. And when they process, they let go. And I've seen this in hundreds and hundreds of people where, you know, you're working with someone and I just barely touch them. And they like, oh my God, that hurts so much. It feels like a knife is inside me. And it's like, I'm barely touching, but I know you feel it. And I work away from it. And then I'll tell them that message, that pain is gone. And they don't believe me. And I'm like, look, and I start pushing them where the pain was. And they're like, oh my God, the pain's not there. And it's like, no, there was a message that you processed and you let go. And sometimes in this process, you know it and you know what that message is. You may realize what the trauma was, but sometimes you don't. And it's not necessary to know. So, and then the result of processing these energies and letting them go is freedom. So I always tell people what's important when you have all this stuff going on and everything's congested is to, when you let go a little bit at a time, you create space inside of you. You create space, to have bigger and more healing, but you also have now space for new experiences and new ideas and new information, healthy information to come into your mind, into your body. So you start feeling more free. You start having clarity in your thinking. You're not feeling like the weight of the world is on you. And the analogy I make for people also is that think of when you're just got all this stuff going on and you're feeling like it's so hard to get out of bed every day and you're just dragging your feet because you don't have that energy. But when you start moving, think of it as this closet that's just filled stuff with everything. You open it and you can't do anything with it. So you start pulling a little out at a time, and then you get a little bit more space in there and you start pulling out a little more. But now it starts getting more easy to get into the closet and to pull things out, to move things around, to shift. And so as you start releasing these energies, processing them and letting them go, and then making space inside of you, then your life will literally start changing because of these energies not being there. You will have a better and more stronger presence in your life to process and also handle situations when they come to you. The less of that garbage, of that stuff that you have inside of you, the better you'll be able to recognize triggers or other things that were affecting before, but won't have that same effect on you now. So that's what I wanted to share with you about fascia and your organs and these energies that are stored inside you. The body is a miracle. It's divine and it works. And when you give it the right environment, the healthy environment, including the foods that we take in, because, we don't want foods with pesticides, we don't want to breathe in pollution, et cetera, like that, then we are bringing a better, healthy energy environment into our body, and we will start feeling better and our body will work better. So my prayer for everybody and wish for everybody is to I'm sending out healing, what I call thought energy. Not just a prayer, but I think of it as an energy and sending it out. And it's so easy and it's so fast. And thank you very much for being with me today and listening to me. And I hope that you have a great takeaway of what I've shared. I just wanted to add that you can see more about me at unstoppablehealing.com. You can contact me at leslie@unstoppablehealing.com. And the slide doesn't show it, but you can also, I work with frequency energy technologies as well. And you can see more about that at centropics.us/unstoppable healing. So thank you so much. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Joan. It's been a pleasure. I'm excited for the day.
Beautiful. Thank you, Leslie. It's important to know, and as you touched on here, that our bodies have these mechanisms in it, and we have modalities in order to release trauma from our actual body, right?
Yes.
And so you shared overall fascia, but I'd love for you to share, what are some modalities to help release trauma from the fascia?
So you're asking what modalities do that?
Yeah, because I know there's rolfing, right? But there's deep
Oh,
fascia
yeah.
release.
I have friends who are massage therapists. So, what I do with Chinate Song is not massage therapy, even though I am with my hands going into the abdominal cavity. And primarily I work with the lungs. So I rock and shake so that the fascia is broken up so that you can breathe deeper. But I go into the diaphragm moving. So sometimes, people breathe shallow. So that also happens with the massage therapy. I know massage therapists say they were working with someone and they started crying. And if you're a beginner massage therapist, you might wonder, like, oh my God, what do I do? But it's actually emotional trauma that's being released. There's myofascial release. Swedish massage, rolfing, even meditation. Like in the beginning where I said, I want you to go into your body and visualize your organs, visualize the place where it hurts, and so you can even do that yourself, but you can self-manipulate yourself too. So I teach people how to do that into the abdomen, into the lungs, into the diaphragm, and people can do that themselves.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Leslie. Joan, did you want to jump in here?
I do want to jump in here. I really like that you reminded people that our body really holds trauma and that it can hold it forever, trauma from even childhood, unless it's released.
Absolutely. And, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I just want.
I've seen where people had trauma that was actually from a family member a couple generations before. And in the work, this fear came out of them about what a grandmother had done before she was even born. And that was in my training where I saw that. I'm so blessed that I got to train with this Tibetan Dakini in Canada, where I work with people in my training. And I saw what comes out of people, the trauma that comes out that's there. And it's everybody has it. Nobody is immune to it. And it is literally, even from just daily stressful lives, even from being called a name when you were a child, or even as an adult, if you were, affected and, maybe, were involved in some sort of incident. the trauma, and when I say trauma, we think of trauma as being like this big serious thing. Trauma has all sorts of different degrees and level, but it's still there and still a little bit. And the problem is, as time goes on, it accumulates if we don't work on ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So would you say that the process of being born is a traumatic experience that goes into our fascia, that we need to work that out?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, especially depending if we're born, through the birth canal, or if we're born by, cesarean. Huge difference. And I don't want to go into the details, but if they're using forceps and all sorts of things, it just depends. Umbilical cord wrapped around your neck as you're coming through. If you are, inversed and not coming feet first, all sorts of different traumas that can come in that way. Emotionally, because we're emotional beings from the get-go, because we're actually getting that information from the chromosomes and the DNA from our parents. So are we
With you.
Oh, I just lost a video there. So yes, it starts from there. And then think about someone who's born in a water birth, where you're not getting the big change from the atmosphere of the being in the uterus and the fluid into the water. So there's many things that can affect you from that get-go. But yes, those issues that I said that are from past generations come to us as when we're born from the get-go.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all this. Very, very
Yeah.
important.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
brother.
much. Yes.
Honored to have you there.
We'll talk soon, Leslie. Appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. Well done, Leslie.
As I'm realizing this, something is coming up that has come up multiple times in my life, which is like, it's almost like this world is set up to traumatize us.
You're reading my mind again, Neil. I was going to say that the last few years have been so traumatic. And so we really do need to have this kind of clearing and healing
Constant practice. So it's like,